This talk for Undergraduate School course number 504 is about the maintenance model in the diagnostic formulation. The maintenance model is an analysis of the beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and behaviors associated with a specific symptom, striving to understand how the symptom is perpetuated. For many people, the thing that seems like the best strategy to fix a perceived problem actually makes the problem worse. This feedback loop leads to an intensifying of their distress and further use of the strategy. When this model or pattern is correctly identified by the counselor and verified by the client, it is a useful guide for treatment. Disrupting the maintenance model often leads to a decrease in distress. You will be hypothesizing a maintenance model as a part of each case study analysis you do for this course. The maintenance model is one part of the diagnostic formulation of a case. There is another talk in this unit that discusses the other components of the diagnostic formulation. One of the first maintenance models in CBT was David Clarke's panic cycle. This was initially a simple spiral. Anxiety leads to autonomic nervous system activation, which is misinterpreted catastrophically as a sign of impending death, serious illness, or madness. These thoughts in turn generate more anxiety and the spiral escalates. Another perspective was added by Paul Tsiolkovskis, who discussed safety behaviors. Safety behaviors are voluntary behaviors that are undertaken in order to prevent a feared catastrophe from occurring. They are directly and logically connected to the physical symptom and its feared consequence. For example, sensations of breathlessness are interpreted as the onset of suffocation and lead to the safety behaviors of overbreathing, loosening clothes around the neck, and opening windows. It is a psychological truism that avoiding something keeps it in mind and inhibits processing, acceptance, and moving on. Seeking reassurance from others about being unlikable is another example of a safety behavior. It is likely to lead people to distance themselves, thus perpetuating the concern about being unlikable. These vicious cycles are often illustrated using the vicious flower diagram, which is available on the course page. The vicious flower is a visual representation of a maintenance model. Some therapists use this as an activity with the client. The first step in constructing a vicious flower is to identify a symptom or a problem and place it in the center. Each petal is a belief, thought, emotion, or behavior that the person has that actually tends to perpetuate the problem or make it worse. It is a psychological truism that avoidance behaviors or safety-seeking behaviors tend to function as perpetuating factors. A problem is also perpetuated when experience fails to disconfirm the belief or decrease the behavior even when it is faulty. Different theorists have emphasized different factors that serve as maintaining factors or petals on a vicious flower formulation. To some extent, this depends on the problem or disorder that is being analyzed. For example, physical sensations and the way they are interpreted by the person play a central role in most of panic disorder and somatic symptom disorders, but are likely to be less influential for the person with obsessive-compulsive disorder. Safety behaviors are behaviors that are chosen in order to prevent a feared catastrophic happening. They are logically and directly connected to the problem or symptom and serve to validate the threat or danger that is being perceived. Another key maintenance factor is a failure to attend to disconfirming evidence, even when it is very evident, while selectively attending to and believing the importance of confirming evidence, however indirect or unrelated to the topic. In individual psychology terms, a maintenance model is one kind of a private logic, a fictional line of reasoning that proceeds from the person's private and unique valuation of self, others, and the world, and what life requires of him or her. A maintenance model is a private logic that seems to be creating distress for the person and is self-reinforcing. For example, social isolation and withdrawal is a common line of movement for people in distress. And with decreased social contact, they have less opportunities to have their mistaken beliefs disputed, and more opportunities for negative beliefs about self to be validated. Keeping secrets and feelings of shame are mutually reinforcing one of the other, and prevent disconfirmation. Avoiding a situation, behavior, or a feeling strengthens the belief that one is unable to handle it and increases the likelihood that it will be avoided in the future. Safety-seeking behaviors are self-reinforcing in a similar way and are associated with a belief of incompetence and inadequacy. Safety-seeking strategies are often accompanied by what-if reasoning, a hypersensitivity to the dangers and threats in the world. The belief that one will be okay or significant when one has enough is usually insatiable and the source of ongoing distress. This is often associated with if-only reasoning, a conviction that the next thing or experience is what is needed to make things all right. Here is an example. The belief, "I have brain cancer," is confirmed by feeling ill and frequent headaches. This leads to ongoing rumination about illness and death, with associated fear and anxiety. But reassurance from health professionals is not processed and does not contribute to a disconfirmation of the belief. Often these patients will become more anxious when they are told they don't have brain cancer because it is another example of a poor diagnosis.